On behalf of the faculty and staff, Golden Gate University School of Law, class of 2017, congratulations. Today we celebrate a tremendous accomplishment, and we are so proud of you. My name is Rachel Van Cleve, and I'm very honored to serve as the Dean of Golden Gate University School of Law and to welcome you here today. It seems like just yesterday, but not so long ago, August 2014, when you began law school, or perhaps in 2013, for those of you who've been in the part-time evening program. At that time, I was inspired by a David Brooks op-ed in which he asked, "Is life more like baseball or is it more like soccer?" This was after Germany won the World Cup, and the title certainly caught my eye. Brooks wrote about baseball being very focused on the individual achievement of players, while soccer is more about how well each member of the team works with others on the field to control the space. At orientation, we talked about how this is a great lesson for law students and for lawyers. As a profession, we tend to overemphasize the importance of individual achievement and the goal of winning. However, one of the many things I love about Golden Gate is that my colleagues and you students appreciate the importance of the relationships we cultivate and the strong community we continue to build together. Along these lines, I have 3 reminders that I offer you today. 1, the importance of continuing to build your team to enhance and improve everyone's success and to build a better system of justice. 2, the importance of continuing to develop your individual skills. And 3, the importance of believing in yourself. Building your team. You have been great teammates at Golden Gate. It has been wonderful to be a part of how you have helped us build a stronger community with your fellow students, with faculty, with staff, and alumni. Life may be more like soccer and how we all become better and we are successful when we are in sync and working together. This is what my colleagues and I have experienced together with you during your time at Golden Gate Law School. This class in particular has experienced significant change in both the legal profession and here at Golden Gate. And we have come out of it better and stronger because we have worked together, kept the lines of communication open, and remained focused on the goal of preparing you to be excellent lawyers. Please join me in thanking your Golden Gate teammates, the faculty, my colleagues, and the staff. So how do we balance being part of a team with the need to strengthen our own skills and understanding? So in that way, I guess life is also like baseball. To be the best teammate we can be, we have to engage in mindful and consistent practice so that we hone and cultivate our own individual talents. My colleagues and I have had the privilege of watching you take ownership of your legal education and your law school experience. You have trained yourselves to focus, to think deeply about problems, to puzzle through them. You have been open to the feedback, critique, and suggestions that we've given you along the way, and you have grown as a result. You have the capacity to continue to learn, to improve the legal profession, which is exactly what it needs. You have also learned that success is more than just about your mind, it's about your body and soul, so take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Finally, believe in yourself. You have done great work here at Golden Gate Law School, and you have seen how that hard work, perseverance, and a mindset that understands how much you can accomplish when you devote yourselves to it. Just as one example, this graduating class in just this past year has provided 6,973 hours of pro bono legal assistance. The other people on your team who have supported you during law school and are here with us today celebrating your graduation. Family and friends, you have lived through law school vicariously with your student, and we know you are very proud of their accomplishment. We thank you for being a part of their team. I ask that our soon-to-be graduates stand and turn and join us in thanking your family and friends. Thank you for the support, love, and compassion that you have provided these students during their law school careers and that will carry them through into the legal profession. And now it is my great honor to introduce the president of Golden Gate University, Dr. David Fike. President Fike joined Golden Gate University in August of 2015, and it has been a great pleasure working with him these past couple years. He is incredibly supportive of the university and the law school. Please join me in welcoming President Fike.
Thank you so much, Rachel. It's a privilege to be able to add my welcome to family, friends, distinguished guests, Honorable Terry Jackson, trustees, administrators, and of course the faculty. I'm so honored to be here, and I think as many of you in front of us know, to me, you're very special. I saw one of you come in with a baby. Wow. That's pretty special. And it reminded me that 53 years ago, I was about that size, and my father was sitting among graduates of Golden Gate University Law School. So for that reason, you all really are special, to me personally. But you're special beyond that. We are so excited to see what you are doing for this society. We are a society of laws. Sometimes that feels strained. Sometimes it feels difficult. But you all are advocates of justice, interpreters and makers of laws. And for that, we are extremely grateful and proud, and we thank you. I wanted to just recognize a few folks. Very pleased that our members of the administration could be here to support, especially Bill Lee, our financial officer, is attending his first law school graduation. Steve Morgan, who you'll hear from in a minute, is the head of our Alumni Association. The law school staff is among us, and I'm so grateful for the work that they do. Rachel recognized the faculty, and I'm very appreciative of the work that they do for all of you day in and day out. And I would very much like to also express the gratitude that I was able to express last night in the smaller, more intimate gathering of the honor students at the pre-commencement address. Was able to express my gratitude for the leadership of Dean Van Cleve. This will be her final graduation presiding in this fashion, as she will be transitioning after 5 years as the dean back into the faculty. And I wish that you would join me in expressing our appreciation for her leadership and service all these years at Golden Gate University. It is now my honor to invite Jim ONeill, a graduate of the class of 1986 and one of Golden Gate University's Board of Trustees. Jim?
Don't you love this stuff? I love when the families start clapping when you're doing the pomp and circumstance. This is such a great time. I have a question for the soon-to-be graduates. How many of you are the first members of your family to go to college? All right, congratulations, congratulations. I'm truly honored to serve on the Board of Trustees at GGU. I'm proud of the 116-year legacy of the school and its mission of expanding access to education to those traditionally excluded. For generations, GGU has offered pathways to a better life for so many people, through the flexibility of his educational programming and through a tireless commitment to every student's success. With that, I want to tell you a story that happened to me 11 years ago, December, when I spoke briefly at the swearing-in ceremony of the recent bar passers. I was talking to somebody, I saw somebody off to my left who was waiting to speak to me. And I asked her, I said hi to her, and I asked her what I could do for her, and she had a copy of the program in her hand, and she asked me to autograph it because she had signatures of everybody, and I was the last one she needed to get everybody's autograph on the program. And of course, I was more than happy to do so, and I asked her, why are you doing this? And she said, my sister was sworn in today as an attorney. She says she's the first member of my family to ever go to college. And that really hit me. That really hit me heavy, and that's why I asked the question. And it just so happens that I happen to be the first member of my family to go to college and the first to get an advanced degree. So I'm sure many of you have fascinating stories to tell about your journeys through law school and what you plan to do to change the world with your degree. GGU will continue its proud legacy because of you and what you will do in the future. For that, I want to thank you. So, congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, Jim, for your leadership and those warm words. I would now like to introduce Steve Morgan, who graduated from Golden Gate University in 1990 with an MBA in management. He is one of those hundreds of Golden Gate University graduates who earned his degree while on a military base when Golden Gate University offered courses on military bases around the country. He earned his BS in business from West Virginia University. He was a financial consultant with Washington Mutual and is currently a financial advisor with New York Life Insurance Company. As president of the Alumni Association, since 2015, Steve has worked to build relationships among all Golden Gate University alumni, and I have enjoyed getting to know him while I have been dean. Please join me in welcoming Steve Morgan.
From Malaysia to India, Australia, Iceland, Boston, San Francisco, and every state in this great nation around the world, I welcome you to the ranks of alumni of Golden Gate University. You know, I recently watched a Netflix documentary on the University of Connecticut's women's basketball team. For those of you may, yes! I'm from Connecticut too, go baby. Anyway, they are the most successful women's, if not the most successful college basketball team in the country. And the coach's underlying theme was, on a daily basis, he wants to see them improve individually and as a team. And I thought about that for a minute, and I'm going to put all of us in that spectrum. What could I do to do that for myself? What could we do that? How can we wake up every morning and decide to be maybe a better friend, better husband, better spouse, better brother, better sister, better alumni to GGU? The list goes on. What would it look like if we filled our days with just thinking like that? There's a young lady on the board. She's a fellow law graduate who's taken that to heart. She is wanting to put a mentorship program together. In the third year, you guys are teamed up with working attorneys that will mentor you, teach you what's going on in the real world, and more importantly, help you to prepare for the bar exam. The thing is, she needs help doing it. She can't do it alone. We have two other attorneys on the board. And my joke is, it's too many. But we need more. We need more to help her with that. And think about what that may look like. Here you have an opportunity to go out into the community, into the city, and meet with working attorneys, some of the best law firms in the city, and learn from them. And who knows, you may even get a job. Wouldn't that be cool? So keep that in mind. We'd love to have you on the board if there's something like that interests you. My last note, I'd like to recognize all the moms here with us today. thank you for being who you are and your leadership. And I hope today, watching your babies graduate, I know there's a mom back here too. I know there's any of you that are graduating are moms. But thank you again for what you do, and I hope this is the start of a great, great Mother's Day weekend for you. Thanks, guys. I'm proud of you. Have an awesome life.
Thank you, Steve, for that warm welcome to our soon-to-be graduates, new graduates. Each year, the graduating class selects a speaker from the student body to represent graduates at commencement. It is my pleasure to introduce Marco Samson, who is earning his JD today and will speak on behalf of both the graduate law and JD classes of 2017.
Man, it's been 3 years. I want to thank Golden Gate University, the board of trustees, faculty, staff, and everyone who's made the last 3, and for some of us, the last 4 years possible. And for throwing this beautiful ceremony that we have today. And I want to send a special thanks to our families and our friends, and for some of us, our significant others. Because it's not just us that's getting this diploma today. Your love, your patience, and your support got a lot of us through this. So I think that when we get our diplomas today, it's not just because of our effort. It's also because of you. So thank you. So here I go. You know, Muhammad Ali once said, "I hated every minute of training. But I told myself, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion." Today, it is one of the greatest honors of my life to be graduating here today with this 2017 Golden Gate University School of Law class. You know, each and every one of us here today has had our own path to getting to this moment. And it is precisely this moment that we all share. So I thought about my speech and I said, I want to find a way. I want to find a way to honor our professors, our colleagues, and this process in a way that we should all be familiar with. So I said, why don't I do this speech in Iraq? For those who don't know what Iraq is, I hope we know. It's how we law students have learned to organize legal issues, with I being the issue, R for the rule, A, for the analysis, and C, the conclusion. So let's try it. Here's an IRAC. The issue, will we succeed? Will we succeed as GGU graduates? It's an important question. So I went around and I asked our professors for a one-word definition for success and a one-word requirement for how to get there. One word, because I can't be here all day. But Professor Sylvester said, success is contentment. And it requires tenacity to get there. Professor Yates said, success is satisfaction. And this requires courage. Courage to believe. Courage to believe in yourself and what you feel is right. Professor Chang said, success is happiness. And what's required to get there is finding joy. Joy in your life. And finally, Professor Christensen said that success is finding meaning. And this requires dedication. So this brings us to the analysis. I know that this class right here sitting in front of me and some sitting behind me have the courage. Because, law school sometimes, it can be intimidating. Between those big books and the law sometimes being a little bit kind of overwhelming. And that one final that your whole grade is dependent on, jeez. But we didn't let any of that stuff hold us back. We, each and every one of us here, had a dream, right? We had a goal. We wanted to be an attorney. And with every page we read and every issue we analyzed, we took that leap. And look at us. Smile. Here we are, about to get our diplomas, about to pass the bar in a few months. Also, I know this class has the tenacity and the dedication because, we are a strong and diverse group. Some of us are working class folks. Some of us, we have jobs during the daytime. We work those hours, we go to night school. Some of us wanted a second start at a career. And some of us have kids that we take care of after school. One right there. And I know that this class can find joy in their lives because I've seen you guys and gals in the internships and the clinics doing work that you love, doing work that is meaningful to both you and your communities. So, what's the conclusion? We will succeed. And remember that Ali quote in the beginning? we are now champions for the rest of our lives. This moment right here, this moment is ours. And we take it with us wherever we go. But no matter where this takes us, I hope that in life you find what you're looking for. And I hope you never forget that to do the right thing, even though it might not be popular. And at the end of the day, I hope that every single person here finds contentment. I hope every single person here finds satisfaction. I hope every single person here finds happiness and meaning. Thank you, class of 2017. Congratulations.
That was terrific. Thank you so much, Marco. I now have the honor to introduce to you the Honorable Judge Terry L. Jackson, who is the presiding judge of the San Francisco Superior Court. She is the first African American to serve in this position. She has served on the San Francisco bench since 2002 and was an appointed member of the Judicial Council from 2010 to 2014. Judge Jackson graduated from Georgetown University Law Center and began her legal career as a prosecutor in San Mateo County before joining the San Francisco District Attorney's Office in 1984. She joined Orrick, Harrington, and Sutcliffe in 1997, defending individuals in white-collar cases and representing companies in complex civil litigation. Judge Jackson has had a lifelong fascination with the courts. In an interview when she was first appointed to the Superior Court, she said that she knew she wanted to be a lawyer at the age of 5 when she saw the movie To Kill a Mockingbird. She said she even had her father take her to watch, she got her father to take her to watch trials when she was a child. When I had my first pleasure of meeting Judge Jackson, one of the first things she said to me was, "I love Golden Gate students." Well, we very much share that sentiment. Please join me in welcoming distinguished speaker, Presiding Judge Terry Jackson.
Hi, good morning or good afternoon. I don't know. Well, no, we're not there. Good morning. Why did I say I love Golden Gate students? I'm just going to briefly say, because about not even a month ago, a few weeks ago, 2 of your fellow students came into my court in a clinic and had a very unique and issue that I have never dealt with, nor has any of my research attorneys ever dealt with before. And they told us the law, and obviously I was perplexed, but fortunately, I said, you know what, I'm going to have to take this under submission. What I loved about it was they gave me the case, they told me what the issue, the Iraq, how to do the analysis, and then I said, okay, come back in 2 weeks. And I remember getting off the bench, going into my chambers, and my research attorneys followed me, and I said, that's what we call well prepared. Your students were well prepared. They gave me the law, they told me why I should decide it a certain way, and then I ended it with, why didn't you find that? So that's why I said I love Golden Gate, because they have been my interns when I was head of asbestos and CEQA, the quality of work, and I've been invited a few times to come and speak at classes, and it's just been phenomenal. So first, I'd like to thank Dean Van Cleve, and I'd also like to acknowledge the President, President Fike, as well as the members of the Board of Trustees, faculty, graduates, family, and friends. On behalf of the Superior Court of the State of California, County of San Francisco, congratulations. to all the graduates. Okay, let's put that aside. You invited me, so now it's Terry Jackson going to talk to you. I did my official. One thing I have to correct, yes, it is an honor. I am the first African-American woman, not the first African-American judge in San Francisco, so I would like to correct it because that's not giving homage in history to those judges when I was a little girl who I would come to watch, Judge Kennedy, Judge Reynolds, Judge Perker Meeks, John Dearman. They were before me. They set the path to allow me in 2002 to become the first African-American judge appointed to the San Francisco Superior Court. So I have to give that a shout out to them. As I look out into this graduating class, what a difference. I did have a prepared speech, but I guess I became a little overwhelmed when I saw all of you marching in, and I thought back, and I have not worn my colors from Georgetown since I graduated in 1980. All right, folks, don't do the math how old I am. I started in college at 15, so now start adding up. But what a difference. I was in a class of 400. There were probably total of all people of color, maybe 60 in that class. Total of women in that class of maybe 40. And now I look out into this audience, and this is what it's supposed to be. And this is a testament to what in our future of our judicial system is going to be. And so I'm so proud. I actually got a little emotional because when I started as a judge in 2002, the bench was 75% white male over the age of 55. At that point in 2002, I believe African Americans made up of maybe 3% of the bench, women 15% of the bench, and those Latino maybe 4%, Asian 10%, so forth. Here we are in 2002. The bench is still 68% white males over the age of 55. However, we have made strides where today I can say that for African Americans we have increased to 6.9%, and for Latinos we have increased to 10%, and for Asian Americans we have increased to 12%. Small numbers, aren't they? But as Dr. King once said, human progress is not automatic. Trust me, when they say, wait, it will come. It's not automatic. And nor is it inevitable when they say, wait, it will come. Progress for our bench, for our judicial system, will come because of what you have done, the struggles, the heartbreak, the taking one step forward, one step backwards. That's where we will succeed. And I look out into this audience, I don't only see lawyers, I see the Chief Justice of the California Supreme Court. I see appellate justices, I see judges out there, and you know what? I'm gonna wait until you get there to join me. That is what I'm looking at in this audience. And I want to remind you of something because I always, when you come out of law school, you really think you're all that in a biscuit. That you think you got here on your own, that your intelligence came from just because you happen to be the one. But you better remember that it came from your struggles, your friends, your family, your history. That is why you are who you are and why you will succeed. So always remember that. And I had an awakening on that just recently. A few years ago, my sister and I, we lost both our parents. And we had the unenviable task, which unfortunately that is a part of life, where you have to go and clean out the house and learn. And what I learned about my family, in Daly City, I grew up in Daly City, California, went to Coma Elementary School, graduated from Jefferson High. I've had more people tell me I wouldn't make it than I had people telling me I would make it. And I was reminded of that when I looked through all my parents' notes. And unbeknownst to me, my father used to write letters to my mother letters to my father. And when we integrated our little neighborhood in Daly City, California, my father wrote a note to my mother and said, "B, did we make a mistake by moving into this neighborhood?" Not because the house was more expensive than what they had planned for, was because of the fact that my parents in the 60s had two little girls, my sister and myself, go through a lot of humiliations, a lot of fights, and a lot of name calling. And to see that as a parent hurts. It breaks your heart. And my father wrote to my mother, "Did we make a mistake by putting Portia and Terry through this?" And my mother wrote a note back to my father and said, "Jack, when we moved those pots and pans into that kitchen, we were standing up, back in the day, in 1960, we were called Negroes, we were standing up for every Negro to be able to move into this neighborhood." And when I saw that, I realized Terry Jackson didn't develop this sense of struggle and we gotta fight and this intellect. It came from them. And then I found a note from my godmother, Mama Fanny. Yeah, we have our Mama Fannies and Big Moms, and she was there, and she never finished. I don't think she went beyond 3rd grade. She was a product of Louisiana. My parents are from Louisiana. And Mama Fanny wrote a letter, and she would always call me Dear Heart. And in that letter, well, before that letter, she came to my law school graduation, and here we were at Georgetown. Justice Brennan was speaking. Sorry, you guys, next time maybe I can be a Supreme Court justice next time for you, but just wait. Anyway, Justice Brennan was speaking. I don't remember what he said. You won't remember what I said. But anyway, I was so proud that here we were, and I thought I was impressing her, and she had been there for the whole week with my family to talk about how, watch the graduation, watch all the activities and so forth right before graduation. And I walked up to her and said, Mama Fanny, are you happy? Are you proud? And she said to me, Dear Heart, I am proud, but I really wanted you to be a teacher. I must have had a look on my face. Not to say that I should not be a teacher. I think it's very difficult being a teacher since I do teach at a law school. I know how hard it is. But I thought, my God, I'm going to be a lawyer. Did you see how few women were in my class? Did you see how few people of color, and particularly African Americans in my class? And that's what she said. I guess I had that look on my face, and I think I turned and walked away from her. After I had taken the bar, she had sent me a note saying, you made it through that struggle of the bar. And she said, Dear Heart, and I came across this letter, as I said, with breaking down my parents' house. I think you misunderstood what I meant when I said you should be a teacher. And what I meant was, I am so proud of you. And when I looked at your class, how few women, and particularly black girls in your class, I was so proud to see that. But I also heard you talking to your little friends about what law firm you were going to go to, what you were going to do, and you were going to have a BMW in your life. And at that time, she says, I do want you to have a black man working. She didn't know it was a car. But you have been given a gift. You have been selected as special, and that you were not to go waste that gift, to go into a firm and forget about the struggles of those who could not get there, those who did not have that opportunity, because that's what I meant by you being a teacher, that you are to open the doors as a lawyer. So I am here to tell you, and I hope you are teachers. You're going to be the teachers of law. You're going to be the advocates. You're going to be the ones who are going to provide that voice and platform for those who cannot be heard. And that's why I look forward to you as attorneys, as advocates, as judges, justices on the Supreme Court, in every aspect, not just to make a difference, but to be the difference. That's your charge. Our legal system, It's going through some troubling times where there's a question of separation of the branches, church and state. All of these things are being called into question. And there, folks, why you are here, because you are the soldiers. In order to achieve justice, you have to be a part of it in every aspect. And you know, we always hear about this term called breaking the glass ceiling. How many have heard that in this audience? Breaking the glass ceiling, cracking the glass ceiling. I even received an honor from the San Francisco Bar of breaking the glass ceiling. But you know what? I no longer want to break the glass ceiling. Strange, huh? Why do I want to break the glass ceiling of a building that is broken? A building that is based on racism, sexism, homophobia, discriminating against religion. Why do I want to break a glass ceiling of that type of building? I'm calling upon you to help me build a new building. This building, and you're saying, Judge Jackson. No, Terry Jackson, this is overwhelming here. I just graduated from law school. I just learned IRAC. But this is, we have the ingredients to build this new building. It's based upon our US Constitution, our California Constitution. It's based upon equal protection, the right to be heard, the right of free speech, the right of religion. All of those ingredients are there for us to build this new building. It's going to be a building like that song from Happy, a room without a roof. Because if you have a ceiling, that means there are limitations. We will not have those limitations anymore. It's going to be big enough, wide enough, that the table will be filled with everyone who looks like me, who don't look like me, who think like me, but we're all going to have an equal seat, and that's what your charge is, as an attorney, as a judge, as an advocate. So if you get anything from this, if you can remember anything from Terry Jackson up here, remember, you're going to be my colleague, and I look forward to this. Yes, you're going to be taking the bar. But I want you to remember what my grandmothers used to say about me. And then I figured it out, but they didn't tell me. They used to always say, oh, B and Jack's daughter, Terry, she's special. I've learned since that they thought I was weird. But I always thought I was special. Therefore, none of the rules in terms of the statistics, in terms of who passed, who didn't pass, never applied, because if you think about it, I am a product of public education in Daly City, California. I went off to college when they told me I shouldn't at age 15. Went to UC Santa Cruz and backpacked and barefoot, went to Georgetown, and they're all saying, what the heck was this? And when I came back to take the bar, they said, well, you weren't here in California, you probably won't take the bar, but I was special, and so are you. So I want to thank the Dean for all of her innovations, and she is the foundation of why you're here and why you're going to help me to build this new building without a roof, without limitations, based upon our basic concepts of our Constitution. I want you to also remember, yes, what Nelson Mandela says, how he had this, and I'm going to paraphrase it, climbing up this very steep mountain. And it was dangerous. Many times he didn't think he was going to make it. Many times he thought he was going to die. And then Nelson Mandela said, every once in a while you get to a vista and you sit there and you rest. Today is your vista. And you look down and see how far you've come. But then you have to take that rest, which is today, and you're going to party like 1999. And then you're going to sober up, take the bar, and come join me in our fight for justice. Thank you.